over the weekend. The Browns on Sunday did announce that they are the winners of the booby prize of the NFL. Congratulations, you got the pervert. Way to go, boys. Good job by you. The Browns making the trade for Texans disgraced quarterback Deshaun Watson. The deal becoming official on Sunday morning. Probably knew about that. But there's a lot to this, a lot of tentacles involved in this, and maybe you have not caught up on all of the details. So the Texans verbally agree on Friday to make a trade. In exchange, 5 picks are coming back. Now, I'm not a big draft pick guy. Draft picks are a speculation situation. They are not a proven commodity. You are just gambling with the draft picks, 3 first-round picks. Whoop-de-damn-do. So Watson now goes to the franchise known as the quarterback graveyard. For generations, they've been a wasteland for the quarterbacks. The Browns owner, a shady cat himself, this guy Jimmy Haslam, he released a prepared statement. A lot of damage control going on in Cleveland. Seems the locals are not too happy with the hometown squad acquiring this particular quarterback. A claim, though, the owner of the team said that Cleveland did extensive research into Deshaun Watson's many lawsuits, 22 women accusing him of being a pervert. And the Browns, of course, say they did their homework, comprehensive evaluation process. Says the team, utmost importance, blah, 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 due to the sensitive nature of the situation and the complex factors involved. It's not really that complex. It's kind of, he went to get a massage. He wanted the rub and tug. Some of the massage therapists did not want to give him the rub and tug, and thus we've got the problem. Now, the Browns' statement from the owner also continued, saying that we also understand there are still some legal proceedings that are ongoing, and we will respect due process. Yeah, we are confident, the Browns owner said, in Deshaun, and excited about moving forward with him as our quarterback. Yeah! I'm sure the team, Seuss, is very excited about that as well. His genuine and determined efforts. I'm sure he's very determined. Now, the GM, Andrew Barry, also looks like a weasel. The GM there in Cleveland said, we have done extensive investigative, legal, and reference work over the past several months. So this is so good. This is so good. The Browns, the day they acquire the quarterback, they are sending out statements justifying the move. All right, let us discuss the question. What are the Browns doing here? Forget whether it's a right fit. What are the Browns doing here? It's just, I'm shaking my head. I'm shaking my head. It's a lose-lose situation from a football standpoint. Now, financially, Deshaun Watson is laughing all the way to the bank. He's like, hey, this is great. Crime pays. I'm getting away with it. Now, final thoughts. Or first thoughts, I should say. You've got Nickelodeon, Martha Stewart, and desserts. All right? Nickelodeon, Martha Stewart, and desserts. We'll tie all of these things together. So listen, the Browns, who had just a few days prior to this transaction leaked to Chris Mortensen that they wanted an adult at quarterback, and they ended up getting this guy. Deshaun Watson's done. It's over for Deshaun Watson in the court of public opinion. Congratulations, Cleveland. This is a sequel. Many of my friends from Cleveland cringe when I bring this up, but think of this as a sequel. The Mistake by the Lake 2.0. Deshaun Watson, you got to be joking. I can't believe there was a team dumb enough to trade that much and to give that contract out. Congratulations. There's a sucker born every minute, and they're wearing Cleveland Brown merchandise. This is the ultimate Faustian bargain, right? The Brownies have sold their soul. Not that they had much of a soul anyway. For a guy who's not going to win them a title, that's the great part. They're not going to win squat in Cleveland. And we're talking about the Nickelodeon special, because the Browns have slime all over them. Slimy McSlime. That's the Cleveland Browns. They should change the name to Slimers. That's their new name. Not enough soap in all of Ohio to scrub-a-dub-dub the stank on that team for making this deal. It's so terrible. It's great. It's so bad. It is wonderful that there's an incompetence level in a billion-dollar business like this, and they continue to spin the story. Right? Sugarcoating the situation to make things look more appealing. The only person who buys this, of course, is a sucker. So the Browns are saying our fans are suckers. We got a bunch of rubes, bunch of marks that are our fan base. That's what they're saying. Now, part B of this, the irony of this situation, Deshaun Watson had eliminated the Browns from his list for a reason. He didn't want to live in Cleveland. Didn't want to play for the Browns. Not interested in the Rust Belt, didn't want to deal with the snow. None of that. Watson preferred the dirty South. That's where he knows the massage therapist in Atlanta. He's heard stories about New Orleans. That's where he wanted to be. So it was a toss-up between New Orleans and Atlanta with a heavy lean to the Falcons. And so why does he end up saying, you know what, I'll go to Northern Ohio after all? Because the Cleveland Browns paid the king's ransom. They said, we'll give you the riches of Solomon to come play in the ugly Browns uniform. Come help us. And also with a wink and a nod to Martha Stewart. This is a Martha Stewart special, better known as insider trading. I wish I had been aware of this prior. It would have changed my perspective on things. You see, the man who Deshaun Watson is paying buco bucks to help him escape trouble, he knows people. All right? Rusty Hardin, defense attorney to the Stars, the highfalutin Texas defense attorney, looks disheveled when you see him on TV. Hardin was retained in that Flying J scandal from a few years back, the gas scandal. Very popular truck stop destination, Flying J, from a few years ago. They were running with tax rebates for gas purchases, breaking the law. There were a total of 17 highfalutin executives that went down in flames as a fallout from that scandal. One of them was not named Jimmy Haslam, the Cleveland Browns owner, whose family, although I guess they're selling it, the Flying J operations where they made their money, and he did not go down in that case. Why? He was represented by Rusty Hardin. Rusty Hardin is really good and really sleazy at what he does. He gets people out of trouble. People that probably should go and face some time, he gets them out of trouble. So it's more likely than not that, what do you think, phone calls were made, text messages exchanged, email exchanged. And it's like, hey, this is Jimmy Haslam. Can I talk to Rusty? You know, we really want to get a deal done. What's it going to take to get a deal done with this Watson guy? Do we have to give him a special massage therapist? Like, what do we have to do here? And in the end, it's always about the money. It's always about the money. And that relationship, you have to think, played a role in an extra 80 million smackaroos into the bank account for Deshaun Watson. Now, some of that, you'd have to imagine, will trickle down to Rusty Hardin and his law firm in terms of billable hours. And so you scratch my back, I'll scratch your back. Like, hey, if you're Rusty, the attorney, you're like, hey, Jimmy, remember that case a couple years ago? You'd be in jail right now. You'd be in some trouble. But you wouldn't even have the Browns if that had gone the other way. But now you still have the team, and pay Deshaun. He doesn't like living he want to live in Cleveland. They want to deal with the snow. Come on now. All right, last word. So the Browns have shot their shot, and they ended up shooting themselves in the leg. This is a Scud missile that launched and went straight into Lake Erie. And we will sit back with a gigantic bucket of buttered movie theater popcorn and enjoy the debacle. This is going to be a just desserts, emphasis on the desserts situation going forward, because every man, woman, and child with integrity will be overdosing on Schadenfreude as the Browns fail to meet expectations. The only way that this is a success is with a Super Bowl win. The Browns will not be winning a Super Bowl. They're not even going to win the division. I'd much rather have the Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Burrow is a better quarterback than Deshaun Watson in their own division. Hell, Lamar Jackson, you'd put him up there. The Browns have the third-ranked quarterback in that division? But we will take joy out of the misfortune of the Cleveland Browns. Watson, we've been saying it for many years, he's overrated. We've spoken on this topic ad nauseum in the past. We can get into it more if you want. He's a box score quarterback. That's what Watson is. And the Cleveland Browns are a bunch of suckers for making this transaction. He's not at the pro level. He's not a championship quarterback. The fact the Browns have to post excuses the same day the trade becomes kosher, okay, is a pretty good indicator that they should not have gone down this road. This is the alley that is kind of shady. There's some weird people there. There's some kind of shady characters. You probably shouldn't go down there. They went down there. And that makes the Cleveland Browns, when you look at how they work this transaction out, all right, the way they signed Watson to the extension, there's a term for what the Browns did here. All right, the Browns structured the contract where Watson is making hardly anything the first year of the contract in comparison to future years. Now, why is that? All right, the Browns did that because they know that Watson's going to be suspended for 6 games. At the minimum 6 games, he's out. So he's going to miss 6 games out of the 17-game schedule, possibly more than that. So they structured the deal to limit the amount of financial liability for Watson, which makes the Cleveland Browns an accessory after the fact to what happened with Deshaun Watson. Now, rewarding Watson even more by paying him the base salary, it's like $1 million, a little over $1 million for the first year, because he's going to get suspended. From what I read, he's going to lose like $50,000 a game, which is a lot of money for you and a lot of money for me. But when you think about how much more it could have been, it's peanuts. It's peanuts, right? And just in case the NFL suspends Watson, which we know is going to happen, and you rob a bank, Cleveland management will help you hide the money. That's what the Browns are doing here. They're like, let's help you out, Deshaun. We're so horny to win in Cleveland. We'll pay you way too much money because you're not that good, and we'll help protect you from a suspension, harboring a person who's a scoundrel. So they avoid the proper discipline. As for the Browns fans, it has been amusing. I have witnessed a number of people saying they're not going to watch the Browns. I've also seen a lot of people who have now pivoted on that, and they've decided that they're trying to rationalize the situation. Right? It's like, well, this is an unfortunate thing, but I've invested a lot of my life, a lot of my time in the Browns. I bought a lot of merchandise here. So you find ways to justify the move. You're like, well, Watson, maybe he's completely innocent here. Maybe all 22 women got together and said, you know what, let's just file lawsuits here. Not one of them is legitimate. Now, I don't doubt that some of them are lying, but all 22 of them? Come on. Come on now. The odds on that are slim and none. There's a pattern here that Watson, this is what he liked. This was his thing. He liked to get freaky at the massage, right? He liked to have the anaconda out and about. That's what he liked to do. And so Browns ownership, they claim they did their due diligence, and they know more than you. Deshaun Watson is a Cub Scout with his pants around his ankles. That's what he is, right? Whatever it takes to make you feel better.